So you've heard of ready to eat, yes, and ready to drink. Sindio? Ah, very good, very good. I'm sure you've also heard of pre-cooked porridge or even pre-cooked pizza. Yes? Ah, very nice, very nice. But have you heard of pre-built houses or pre-built walls, pre-built floors? Well, technically that's not the term. On this week's episode, we are going to explore the alternative means of construction that is precast. What are they? Where are they used? Are they cost effective? Are they time efficient? And what and where can you build using precasts? I'm Martin Tujenge, and this is Tujenge. Build it better. Etezo zingine. What exactly are precasts?
Precast is just like any other normal koroga, ile koroga tu ya kawaida. The only difference is that precast is done at a factory setup like where we are. Alafu, it's now transported to the site where you need to do your construction. That means when you get there, mjengo inakuwa rahisi, inakuwa chap-chap, because it's more of an assembly than the normal construction that we're used to.
So for you to get your precast, even before we go to what the precast is used for, what are the elements that you need? So of course there is mchanga.
Simiti.
Cement.
Then curing agent.
Okay.
And then reinforcement.
All right, so what do they...
Reinforcement ni chuma. In simple terms.
Kwa mtu anasikia curing agent for the first time. So what are the curing agents and what are the reinforcements?
This is some type of cement that we use just to make sure that when we do the precast, because the overall or the ultimate goal is just to make this construction fast, to make sure that curing does not take the 45 to 60 days ambayo tumezoea kwa mjengo ya kawaida. Another thing is that this is made at a factory setup. Unajua huko kawaida huwa wanapiga na ile vibrator ya mkono. So if you look around now, when you take the aggregates, mchanga, simiti and all that, unaweka kwa mixer, unaona mixer ni kubwa, unachapa inakuwa strong kabisa. And then now ukienda kucast, the amount of vibration that you're using ni kubwa, sio kama ile ya mkono, which means that now precast is much stronger compared to the traditional koroga ya huko. Okay. We have various products here. We have the wall panels, we have the slab, we have H-beams for the fence. Sasa kulingana na like the product that we are talking about, the reinforcement is different.
Take me through those products.
Yeah, so
that
now
you've
for
mentioned.
example for the wall panels we use steel. Pre-stressed steel, and then kwa slab ile ya nyumba ya kuwekelea hapa juu tunatumia the normal deformed bars. Okay. Same for the concrete post H-beams ya fence.
So the floors and walls that you make ni za ndani, well of course floor ni ya ndani, but the wall ni ile ya nje ama ni specifically ya ndani peke yake, ama unaweza tumia pia wall ya nje?
We have both. There is the external walls. There is the internal walls at the same time. I think also I forgot to add that we also have precast beams and columns. Ile tu kama ile ya kukoroga pale. It's only that it's done here. The reinforcement is different. The ratios are different. Kabisa.
Naweza chukua pila kutoka hapa hivi niende nijenge nayo nyumba yangu na umetengenezea hapa.
But of course that would require some machinery because you realize it's a bit heavy.
Yes.
So erecting it and joining it together, it's a bit different. But then again, you cannot compare with casting and waiting for, forever for the curing and all that. When you're talking about our precast materials, everything is custom made. So hakuna kwenda kubahatisha. So kama ni hizo columns, beams, precast slab walls, kila kitu ni precise kulingana na plan yako.
So say somebody who's building a home, at what point do they come in to engage you for this precast? Is it wakati yako na design tayari ama it's even before the design stage?
Tunataka shamba.
Ikiwa empty.
Yeah, because we're able to do everything from coming up with the design, architectural design, structural design where necessary. We are very flexible because we are talking about a custom-made product. So even if you find yourself at that level, we're able to pick from where you are. But ideally, I was saying, for starters, we need the plan. Sasa ukisha kuja na plan, that's what we use to do the quotation. By the way, we don't even charge for quoting, it's free of charge. Then sasa tukisha kupatia quote yako, then we can get into an engagement.
What do precasts save in? Is it time or is it resources?
Time is a key factor because ile nyumba ya kawaida yenye watu wanga wanachukua 60 days, we can do that half the time. That means within 30 days, we can finish. Now, it means if you take less time doing your construction, even your labor costs reduces
goes down
drastically.
Yes.
Then again, nyumba iko na many components, okay? We are talking of ununue mawe, mchanga, simiti, maji, you wait for curing. So us guys are bringing you a complete finished product. You will not have to kuambiwa ama kufikiria simiti yako imeibiwa mahali, for example. You know, that's the normal talk. So if we're looking at a house like this, we are saying you need 100 pieces. It's 100 pieces. Hakuna mtu atakwambia, oh, wheelbarrow tano ya mchanga.
Nyinyi mtasema ni 100 pieces.
Yes, because once you have the
dimensions,
quote, it is very, very precise.
Aha.
You eliminate wastage, you eliminate guesswork, and you are able to plan well financially.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So why is it then that it is not as common as you'd expect if it is coming with those conveniences?
It's more of a mindset issue. Sababu when you were born, ulipata ukiambiwa permanent house.
Brick and mortar.
Brick and mortar. So that's what people believe. But now we are saying, because of what's happening around, the cost of construction is getting very high. We need to look for alternative methods. We have to offer solutions. Now, by the way, mostly utaangalia ni hapa Kenya tu ndio tumekwama. If you look at Western countries, they don't even have, hawana ndarugo. Ndarugo ni mawe. They don't have those machine cut stones.
Yes.
So what they use is precast. You've come through the expressway, I hope so. All that is, better part of it is suspended, and that's precast. Awa kukuja kukorogea hapo.
Walikuwa nazibeba na hizo macranes kubwa kubwa wakikuja wakiziwekelea. That is how they quickly finished that construction.
So it's the same concept. Now we are saying the same way expressway was done, same for a house. You can do it quickly and conveniently. Na maisha inaendelea. For
people who think they've not seen precast,
they have.
They have seen it so many times. Hata Thika super highway hivyo ndivyo ilijengwa.
Kabisa. Even SGR. Better part of SGR is suspended. Precast kabisa.
Interesting. I'd like you to at least take me through, you know, at least one of them. You show me, niulize maswali on how it works. Because kuna zingine naona ziko na machuma around, ni understand ni za nini, naona mashimo, sijui hizi ukuta mnazishikanisha aje, ninaona process. Ebu nipigishe tour. Kwanza hapa.
This is the mixer.
Is this the first place?
Yes, this is the first place, because now you need to get the aggregates. Iko kokoto ya aina mingi, kuna mchanga iko ya aina mingi, kuna simiti pia that is different. So this is why you have them mixed. So once they're mixed, there is another small car that takes it to the machine that mix. This is where they are brought. Now you can see there is some reinforcement, like I was talking about.
So kuna chuma na kuna wire. What is
wire this? Is the reinforcement ambayo inatumika just to add the strength on the precast. So then this is the machine that does the casting. This is what you get.
So hii wire iko ndani
ya wall panel.
Okay.
You don't get to see it, but you feel it.
Okay.
Yes.
Something interesting. I can see the wires, and then I can see sort of drill machuma. What is that?
Those are the ones that create the hollow. The hollows, they serve various purposes for plumbing and electricals. Unajua kawaida unatengeneza ukuta, unakuja kugonga tena.
Yes.
So you have to pass your electricals and your plumbing. So with this, that is sorted. You don't need to hack. So ina create hizo mashimo. Besides that, they will help in weather insulation. Naona kama hapa Kitengela it's sunny. So if you get into a room that has been built using precast, then the weather is different. That one from extreme weather in terms of heat, ama ile baridi mingi, you have insulation. They also help in terms of being fireproof and waterproof and soundproof.
So hii reli yako naona ni mrefu hivi.
Ndio.
So nitachukuaje hii slab ikiwa mrefu hivi niende nikajenge nao nyumba yangu jameni?
So
George,
when you give us your plan, I talked of customization.
yes.
This slab we cut as per the client's desired height of the house. So if your house is 3 meters, roof yako iko huko 3 meters, we just cut 3 meters or 2.5 or whichever height. Tuweke pale for curing for a few days, then they are ready for transportation to the site for assembly.
So hizi blocks, I'd call them that, precast blocks.
Yeah.
So hizo ndizo unashikanisha?
Oh yes, and they do interlock. If you can look in, you'll see there are grooves and they are different. Both sides are not the same. So this side does not look like that other side. So there's an interlock. Yes, so it means once they interlock, you have one continuous wall.
Hebu wacha tukuje hapa hivi kwa hizi zenye zimekauka at least. So umesema hapa ni 2 days zitoke hapo.
Alafu sasa ziwekwe hapo curing. Alafu sasa they will be ready for transportation.
So for example, something like this was ready for transportation. For example,
this one was ready. Hii imekatwa tu ya shughuli tofauti.
Aha.
The width is what is standard. This is 2 feet or 600
that is what I wanted to ask.
But urefu sasa, we will cut as per the height of the house that you want to build.
What about the thickness?
Thickness is 100 mm, but we also have other slabs ambayo ni 150 mm, 120, so even in terms of thicknesses, we are able to customize. But then again, inalingana sasa na design ya nyumba. But this is the standard. And now, what that means, this one is 100 mm. When you do your partitions, okay, it means you'll end up with a much more spacious house.
Kwa sababu sio mawe kubwa.
Mawe is 400.
Yes.
So you can imagine how much space you save when you use these.
Yes.
So even for guys who are in real estate, you know they sell houses per square meters.
Yes.
So it means ukienda ufanye partition ya bedrooms na choo nini, you can actually make more money because you get more square meters from this.
Let's just look at environmental impact, because now it means if you have to cut according to specifications, there are going to be very many wastages,
Yes,
or
exactly.
more enough, because I see you have a mountain of
Yes, exactly.
a lot of discards.
Exactly.
Is there a remedy for this? Ama ikichomeka imechomeka?
This one, whatever you see around is recycled. So even in terms of taking care of our environment, because you're able to recycle all the materials, whatever we cut and it's not being transported to the client site, then you're able to recycle. And talking about environment, when you talk about doing a house slab, I'm sure you've seen the traditional way, people using what we call props, ama formwork. That's a lot of trees. Yeah. So we say when you want to conserve and preserve our environment, this is the way to go, because with our slab you don't need any formwork. Hautahitaji hizo miti, ni kuwekelea tu slab mahali iko. Then we talk about those cases of quarries collapsing and losing life sadly. If you go precast, we are saying you're also preserving life and you're also preserving our environment. So precast has so many advantages that we cannot even exhaust.
So around here, do you have any structure that has been constructed using the precast?
Yeah, definitely our office here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we can go, you check out our office, and then probably we can visit one of our clients, and then you'll get to see a finished product.
Ebu tuende tuone.
Sawa sawa.
Tuende tuone ofisi.
Aya.
Kuna mtu wa mikono amenileta mpaka hapa akaniambia nikuje kwa mdosi. So I'm curious to know, how did you end up with this kind of business? Nyinyi muli invent, muliona mahali, muli Google, what happened?
So we needed a solution where we didn't have to be there all the time, monitoring the fundis, taking a long time, and you know, having to account for the materials being delivered, and just being present for that construction. So we started researching, and the solution that we got was this one for precast. We took our time, traveled to the country that was doing this at that time, China, saw the different solutions that they had for this. Then we chose this one for precast.
Yani watu wakipata queue wanaenda wananunua maji. Nyinyi mnapata queue mnatengeneza factory ya maji.
Yeah.
At what point did you transition now to now making a business out of it?
So once we built our home and we saw how convenient it was.
Who was doing it for you to build your home?
To build our home.
Where were you getting the precast?
The precast at that time, there was a Chinese who had kind of wanted to start. So we got the material from him. He was here, but eventually he went into other businesses. And now, because we entered now into the business after seeing that the solution worked for us, so we started the business ourselves.
How long has it been since you started?
6 years now.
6 years?
Yes.
And within the 6 years, at what point did you get to the point where the demand was surpassing what you could supply?
During COVID, for some reason, I think the individual homeowners had the time maybe now to come out and build their own homes. So that was actually a good time for people to build. They had the time, they were not going to offices. And and the solution was here. So,
ni slab, ama chini, well, it's the walls.
Yes.
Hapo katikati there is the interlocking joint.
Yes, the walls
but
interlock.
Inashikanishwa na kitu ingine, inawekwa simiti hapo katikati ama inabaki tu hivyo?
Inabaki tu hivyo, haina haja. And that is where now we come in and say that you save on materials because you don't need to add simiti hapo na mchanga. So they just interlock. The next step is unaweza weka hiyo fiber net upake na skimming.
And then same case for the ones on the floor?
The ones on the floor, once you lay them, the next step is doing your finish, either tiling, terrazzo, Nero, whatever you want as a finish for your home or property.
I think I'd want to see around as I ask a couple of things.
Okay, let's go.
Just show me around.
All right.
Kama hapa, for example.
Okay, sawa.
Sasa siwezi jua mahali joint iko because of what has been done.
Exactly.
Which is what?
So like this, these are about 3 panels. So after we placed them, we just did the undercoat, the skimming. So there's the skimming, then the undercoat, and now the top paint. And as you can see, you're able to just...
Siati muliongeza tena ati gypsum, nini kitu kama hiyo.
You can feel it. You don't need to do anything after that.
When it comes to such fixtures, niliambiwa hizo mashimo zinasaidia juu ya kuweka hizi, but sasa do you now mnachonga, like how does it happen now?
So it's very simple. You just come with your grinder, cut here, then we have this fixture. Then there's the hollows that you're seeing in the panel.
Yes.
So the wires for all your services just pass there. So that just gives you a clean finish without the wires hanging around.
So you said, so this is aluminium door.
These are aluminium doors.
This is based on your preference.
Our preference, you can do wood, you can do steel, you can do anything that you want.
I can have the door as big as I want to?
As big as you want, the windows as big as you want. We work with your specification. Yeah.
So hakuna kukata yenye, well, other than for the fixtures.
Yes.
Hakuna kukata ingine ati
ingine.
Inabidi umefanya.
Hakuna kukata ingine.
Now, there is that beam that goes round hapo juu kabisa. Hiyo iko bado?
Yeah, beam ni lazima uweke kama unaweka gorofa. So beam bado tuliweka na chuma. Alafu tukaweka slabs zetu. Yeah, so you can still do that. Depends on your structure. Whatever your engineer advises or your architect, that's what we are able to achieve. hakuna limit on what you can do structurally.
So as it is right now, it's mostly precast on, well, ideally that's what you'd only need it for. Walls and
the slabs.
And floors.
Yes, the floors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Interesting. Acha tuone hata huko ndani pia
Ndio.
vile kunakaa.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Hakuna difference, like by the time you see the complete structure, hakuna difference between ati precast na nyumba ya brick and mortar, like visually.
No, you cannot tell.
Yeah.
You cannot tell. Once the construction is finished, you can't tell whether it was stone or precast unless you really know.
Okay. So, are you limited by where you can use the precast panels? Like, huwezi jenga mahali kuna joto sana, mahali kuna baridi sana, ama vitu kama hizo?
We are not limited. Actually, now the panels come with an advantage of climate or heat insulation. So where it's too cold, it regulates it to be room temperature. Where it's too hot, now you have your normal room temperature.
What if it's a place like at the coast where it's very humid or things like that, a place that is very dry?
Yeah. Even better. Now you will have a nice, conducive environment where you can comfortably live without having to use the ACs and all that.
So we've mostly gone through the advantages of having precast.
Yes.
Would you point out any disadvantage of precast?
None that I know so far. The only disadvantage is because we go so fast. So maybe now as a client, you need to be ready with the money.
Hiyo ni kali.
Yes. So maybe kama hujajipanga vizuri ndio utalemewa kidogo.
Utaanza kusikia mfuko
Exactly. But with good planning, we are able to achieve, anything.
I want to see one of the clients who've used, the precast panels to construct something.
Okay.
You have one?
Yes, we do.
Waje tuende nikaone. Yeye ndio ataniambia kama pesa yake ilikuwa tayari.
Atakwambia kama ilikuwa tayari.
So you are a happy customer of using precasts. How did you end up, knowing about them, and what made you decide to use them?
We had a challenge, wanted to extend our sales office. So we said, we don't have time to do the normal construction. So what can we do? Lucky enough, being in Kitengela, we know our neighbors. So we used to be curious. There's some guys across the street that do some, they call them precast.
Yeah.
So what was this? So we went over, had a discussion, and we had a timeline of 1 week because you can't stop selling and then build, then start selling.
Yes.
Because anytime we close, we lose business.
Yeah.
So we called them, they came, looked at our space. This was a parking. They told us, give us a week, we'll do your construction and you start.
So you wanted to construct a wall in a week?
Yes.
And you of course, it would not take a week to construct
a sales office.
An actual office, like the entirety of it.
Yes.
You wanted to do it within a week.
Yes.
And in your mind, before you thought of precast, what had you thought of?
Being in the manufacturing of roofing sheets, we thought, can we do a Mabati office? And then we thought, because our factories, we use a very heavy gauge Mabati, so we're able to do very neat factories. But then this is a sales office where customers, it's a daily face for customers. We thought that would not be good. What other option do we have?
Okay.
Our first option was to do the traditional way, get stones, ballast, get fundis to come over, but then we had no time.
Wiki mbili tayari ni ya kungojea kwanza
ikiwa
ukimwagia maji.
Exactly. So we thought, can we listen to another alternative? So we called them over, they came, we gave them our challenge, and they said they can do it. So we said, fine, if you can deliver within the timeline of a week, maximum 2 weeks, why not? The reason why we took precast is 3 reasons. One, the budget issue, because we had a specific budget. There was no room for error. Secondly, timeline. And then of course the third thing, the look. It's a sales office. Yes.
And because I'm curious to know, did you just get the precasts and then found some other handymen, fundis and another contractor to do the construction? Or did you do it yourself? Or they actually did it for you?
Actually, the beauty of using precast is that the guys told us, you know, we at Precast Global will give you an end-to-end solution.
Oh, nice.
Yes, so just give us your plan, we do the budgeting, and we deliver. So for us, it was a turnkey project. No fundis at all from our side. Mine was just give you the plan, give you the budget, my timelines, my design, and that's it.
And how do you feel so far about it? How has the experience been? How long has it been here, first of all?
1 year.
1 year. How has the experience been?
I'm a happy customer.
Nice.
One of the things that I like about it, when customers walk in, they're like, wow, that's a good wall. So even before we talk about Mabati, they see the structure. It complements my business.
Yeah.
I'm in roofing.
Yeah.
So if I can't do a good wall
Yeah.
and I'm in roofing,
Yeah.
my CV will not be too good. So I can say so far, we are a happy customer. Yes.
Would you advise, you know, people who are skeptical as far as precasts are concerned to consider them as an option?
Definitely. For me, being a young person in construction, we believe that there are new ways of doing things. I would encourage guys, don't be scared. Take a leap of faith, try new technology. It's cheaper and faster. Yes.
Cheaper and faster.
Yes.
Emphasis on that.
Karibu sana.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
The emphasis to adopt modern and new technologies of building and construction gets louder and louder every day. Don't stick to the stone ages. Okay, well, you still have to use stone at some point, but don't stick to doing things the way we used to do them. Adopt new methods and styles. I'm Tujenge, and this is Tujenge. Build it better.